with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Molly Samora. We begin with your top story this morning as Pfizer says research into its new COVID-19 antiviral pill is very promising. The drug maker has released a report that says data shows their new pill, combined with a low dose of an HIV drug, reduces hospitalization and death in high-risk COVID-19 patients by up to 89%. In the release, Pfizer CEO calls it a game changer and claims it could eliminate up to 9 of our 10 hospitalizations. However, Pfizer has not yet published its full data, making it available from scrutiny from other researchers. Pfizer will now ask the FDA to review their data and authorize the use of the drug combination as soon as possible. And the Biden administration has set a deadline for businesses to comply with the president's vaccination mandates, and the pushback is building. Companies with 100 or more employees have until January 4th to ensure every worker is fully vaccinated or tested once a week. That comes 84 million workers. Louisiana, Indiana, and Mississippi just filed a lawsuit against the Biden administration, saying the mandates constitute federal overreach and risk negativity impacting the workforce. South Carolina's governor issued an executive order prohibiting state agency from requiring employees to get vaccinated. And at least 40 Senate Republicans say they plan to challenge this mandate. And me time to cite the apparent COVID-19 related deaths of 2 Erie police officers this week. The city's police chief says he doesn't back a vaccine mandate for his department. We told you about the death of 56-year-old Sergeant Gary Catone. The 24-year-old veteran of the workforce passed away this week after testing positive for COVID-19. Tacone's death comes days after EPD officer Jason Belton died after exhibiting coronavirus symptoms. The coroner called it natural causes, but Belton was only 47 years old. Erie News Now did some digging and found out that just over 50% of the Erie Police Department's fully vaccinated. Currently, 8 more Erie cops are out sick with COVID. And despite all that, Chief Dan Pizzarni tells Erie News Now he's not in favor of the mandate.
Well, yeah, we're taking precautions, but obviously I wish that officers would get the vaccine.
And according to the Fraternal Order of Police national website, COVID-19's the #1 killer of cops nationwide. They say it's killed more than 780 police officers since the start of the pandemic. The 2 states with the highest police death rates from COVID, Florida and Texas. And the COVID vaccine now going into the arms of younger kids right here at home, at least kids whose parents are willing to let their little ones get that shot. UPMC Hammett leaders say they received 200 doses of the Pfizer vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11. And 100 kids signed up and got their first doses on Thursday. Parents of these young ones say they're happy to get their kids protected from the virus.
It's very imperative that we take care of our kids and protect them as much as possible, especially during a pandemic, and that your kids really are just as scared as you are. So you need to, show your bravery and help them through this time.
Now, AHN St. Vincent is giving the shots to kids at 5 of their practices starting today. They also say the COVID vaccine for 5 to 11-year-olds will also be administered over the course of 2 Saturdays in clinics specifically designed for that age group. The first round is next Saturday, November 13th at AHN's 2 health and wellness pavilions. And LECOM shots for younger kids start next Tuesday. That'll be at their Center of Health and Aging on Schauffer Avenue. They say families can call or go online to schedule an appointment. And we find out today who the official winners are in some of those closer races from Election Day. The race for Meadville mayor is still up in the air this morning. Democrat Jamie Kinder has a slim lead over the write-in candidate. But Crawford County officials say are still going through all those votes to find out how many are the write-ins candidate, Marcy Kantz, who had the lead back on election night. And they say it's a slow process with no definite timetable of wrapping up. The Corey mayor's race is one of the several other that are still just too close to call. The final official vote count is expected to continue later today. And we saw our first snowflakes of the season this week. Maybe a reminder to make sure you have that snowplow service for the season. But that could be a struggle this year. Snowplow companies tell me they're dealing with serious driver shortages.
We are pretty much at 90%, but we are taking a few. So I definitely don't wait any longer.
Boomso Landscaping tells me their spots are filling up fast for this winter season. Misty Burgess is the director of operations and says not to wait until the day it snows to find a plow.
Then you're really taking a chance that you may not get anybody.
While they wish they could help clear everyone's driveway this season,
At our labor force, and that's something else that everybody needs to take into consideration. The labor shortage is a real thing, and it's affecting every industry. And we may have, 20 trucks, but we may not have 20 drivers at any given snowfall.
she informs me they're not only facing that labor shortage, but the increase in gas prices at the pump.
Gas prices are astronomical. I mean, we just talked to some guys this morning reminding us that it's sometimes $150, $200 to fill up just one tank of gas with one of our bigger trucks. So we're really factoring that in for this winter.
So when you do book a plow this winter, you may see an increase in your bill.
Unfortunately, because that's an expense that's real, that we have, and we have to factor into all the work we do.
Molly Samora, Erie News Now. And now we want to bring in our David Walter. David, are we actually going to see some of the snow that the plow truck drivers might need to come out for?
No, we're actually going kind of opposite over the next few days. Temperatures will be warming on up. We're trying to get some sunshine out there, and right now we can see some blue sky, but still a few dark clouds just drifting on by with our Oliver's rooftop cam. We're at 41 degrees. Temperatures range from the lower 30s and even upper 20s in the parts of Warren County, all the way to around 40 into Girard, as well as Harbor Creek. Into Clymer, New York, at the Peak and Peak, they've got 32 degrees. Of course, they're gearing up for ski season. That will be here soon enough. You can see that we are just dealing with areas of clouds out there. A lot of sunshine, though, towards the mountains, more clouds really across portions of Erie, Crawford, Venango, and Mercer counties, but really no rain associated with those clouds, maybe just a few spits of rain. That's basically it. As we enter the afternoon today, still hanging on to some of that cloud cover, but it will become sunnier as we head towards the end of the day. Through the night into early tomorrow, some frost could be developing out there. That's one thing you might have to scrape off the vehicle if you are maybe going somewhere early on a Saturday morning, but more sunshine really taking over for your Saturday right on into Sunday. As a matter of fact, into next week, we're going to continue with a fairly dry phase overall. Your zone outlook for today, temperatures into the middle and upper 40s. We will have increasing sunshine as we work our way through the afternoon, but right now, still some stubborn cloud cover around in Crawford County. More in the way of sunshine out there in Warren County today. A mostly sunny sky. Temperatures in the middle 40s between Youngsville and Warren. We'll talk about the extended outlook, and of course we fall back this weekend. That's in just a moment.
Thanks, David. And this weekend, there's a chance for you to help make sure kids here at home have toys under their Christmas tree. The annual Toys for Tots effort kicked off on Thursday. This one's a joint effort by Pennsylvania State Police and the Marine Corps. They use space in the former Office Max store building behind the Mill Creek Mall to store all the toys. And to really get the toy drive going, they're planning what they call Stuff the Cruisers event. They're looking for toy donations tomorrow from noon to 4 at the Walmart on Upper Peach Street in Summit Township. And Erie News Now is once again teaming up with the city of Erie to help members of our community stay warm this winter. This weekend, we will host the third annual Community Coats Drive. It kicks off this morning. It began this morning at 8 a.m. on the east side of Perry Square. Anyone in need of a coat or any other winter apparel can swing by and grab whatever they need. It will be running through the weekend, Sunday at 3 p.m. And daylight savings time comes to an end on Sunday, so it's time to fall back, but setting our clocks behind 1 hour. But if you're tired of changing your clocks twice a year, there could be some hope on the horizon to keep it lighter later throughout the year. Every state except Hawaii and Arizona currently observe daylight savings time, but in the last 4 years, the debate over daylight savings time has picked up. 19 states have enacted a legislation or passed resolutions to provide for for year-round daylight savings time, and Congress were to allow such a change. Daylight savings was first enacted by the federal government during World War I as a way to conserve coal, but the Department of Transportation, which is in charge of daylight savings time, now says the practice saves energy, prevents traffic accidents, and curbs crime. And David, I know it's always a struggle to change your clocks, but it's a good reminder. What are folks going to be seeing this, weekend?
Well, you get that extra hour of sleep. That's the one thing I can guarantee as we go back to a standard time. Once we get to 2 a.m. a Sunday morning, that's when we turn our clocks back 1 hour. And we also need to check those smoke detector batteries as well, because we know that that can save your life in the event of an emergency or a fire. And so you want to make sure that that is working well for you and your family. Our new sunrise time as we get into your Sunday, 7:01. The sun is now rising around 8 o'clock, so we get that earlier sunrise, but the earlier sunset, and before you know it, the sun will be setting before 5 o'clock. So it's kind of one of the downfalls. I actually posted the question this morning on social media, whether or not you like daylight saving time. It's kind of a mixed bag, although I think more people dislike it than they do like it. As we get into next week, our temperatures, they're not falling back, they're heading on up into the lower 60s Monday into Tuesday. By the time we get to Veterans Day on a Thursday, maybe dealing with some showers, but certainly no wintry weather.
Well, I'm glad to see that the winter weather is not here yet. Thanks, David, and thanks everyone for joining us for this edition of the Erie News Nowcast. Our next news is coming up here at noon on WSCE. Make it a great weekend.